Time now for our PIX panel. Joining us this week is City Hall Bureau Chief for the New York Post, Craig McCarthy, and Ben Max with a new title, Executive Editor and Program Director of the Center for New York City Law at the New York Law School. Congratulations on the new gig, Ben.
Thank you.
So I spoke with Congressman Gottheimer a short time ago. He's continuing to team up with Republicans to try and stop congestion pricing. Ben, is there any stopping congestion pricing?
It's very unlikely at this point, but those opponents continue to throw some lawsuits out there and make some efforts at the federal level. Anything could happen. There could be court injunctions and so forth. But right now, it looks like this is really moving forward. And there are many people who probably need to wrap their heads around the fact that it is going to happen.
Craig, the mayor has some standing here. He appointed a member to the board. He's expressed some concern about this. Could the mayor be the one that ultimately stops this?
I don't think so. I mean, I think really his pushback is always going to be the exemptions. He's never said that he doesn't want congestion pricing. He's been in support of it. He's kind of tempered back that support a little bit lately. But that being said, he's looking for more exceptions for, people who are coming in for a night in the city should be paying, he says. But if people are coming in because they have to get here, they're low-paid workers or anything like that, that's what he's looking for.
Well, it's hard pivot now to the 3rd Congressional District and the open seat. Craig, I'll stay with you here. Tom Suozzi's been named on the Democratic side. Any read on the Republican side? And how important is this race to set the national conversation?
Well, I mean, it's, that district is really changing. It's been changing over the last few years with turning red, with suburban voters going more to the GOP in New York. There's a list. There's a long list of people that they're considering, and not much has come out of it, where it's going or who's going to be the pick at this point.
Ben, any insights into who might be the pick and what this race will be all about as far as the national conversation is concerned?
I think on the Republican side, it's still very open to see who the nominee will be. I think for the Democrats, going with Tom Suozzi was obviously the safe and likely best pick. This is going to be a fascinating bellwether in New York and nationally. If Democrats bringing back Tom Suozzi.
I think we lost Ben for a minute there. So I believe Ben was talking about bringing back Tom Suozzi to really try and cement this. I believe that's what he's talking about, Craig?
Yeah, so they're trying to appeal to both sides of this. And so I was talking about that the New York flipping the last 2 years and flipping Congress, it had a lot to do with New York State and a lot to do with this seat. So I think that we're talking the national conversation of, the suburban voters versus the city voters. I think this is going to be a very good test for next year, coming in January or February, the special election, for what they're going to see in 2024.
And Ben, back to you to finish your thought. I understand we have you back now.
Oh, sure. Just very much for Democrats, especially in the area of Long Island where Republicans have been winning more and more seats. This is an extremely big test for Democrats to try to win this special election in a Biden district, one of many in New York where Republicans have won recently.
So let's focus now on Congressman Jamal Bowman, who was censured by the House for pulling the fire alarm. What is the impact here, Ben, in the primaries? I mean, we have the Westchester County Executive George Latimer challenging him. I think that he would have done that irrespective of this sort of censure and fire alarm incident. What do you make of this censure? Will it have any impact?
Oh, I think it's another thing that the Latimer campaign and Bowman opponents can use against him. It just doesn't look good. There's some real questions about whether he should have been censured over it, but the fact is he was. And so it's another issue where Bowman has to sort of try to explain himself, and it just doesn't really look great for him having pulled this fire alarm and then being taken to task by the House over it.
A number of top Democrats, including Congressman Jeffries, called it, I believe, a badge of honor. Is it a badge of honor, Craig?
I mean, censure isn't a badge of honor, so I guess we'll see where it goes from here at that point.
Let's move on to our last topic, the approval ratings for Mayor Adams. He's really tried to dismiss this Quinnipiac poll. Fair? I mean, this is a pretty reputable poll here, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've been polling since 1996. This is the lowest any mayor has polled. I mean, the pollsters were saying there's no good news in here for the mayor. It's just been slowly going down over the last few polls, and primarily because of the migrant crisis. And even the things he campaigned on was crime. The disapproval rating is 60% on that. I mean, it's across the board was not good for the mayor.
Now, what strikes me about this 1996 number, Ben, is that if I'm not mistaken, that would have been Rudy Giuliani, and he won in 1997. So fair to say that Mayor Adams, he's not done here by any means, right?
We've seen several mayors struggle with their approval ratings early in their terms. This does not by any means mean that Mayor Eric Adams is not going to win re-election, but there's also some real warning signs for him here. And I would just peel it back to say one of the biggest issues that the mayor and his team likely see from this poll and others, not just this poll, is that he might be losing support among Hispanic New Yorkers, and that's a key part of his coalition. Even if he's keeping support among many Black New Yorkers, he really has to worry about his standing with Hispanic New Yorkers.
Well, and the New York City progressives still haven't really quite gotten it together, even though there's been a lot of talk. I mean, have either of you heard any names getting more serious? Ben, quickly to you.
Well, I think Comptroller Brad Lander is absolutely looking at it, especially if there's some sort of indictment of the mayor or someone very close to him. But there's all sorts of names being floated out there, and I don't think there's anyone that people are coalescing around yet.
Craig, real quick, any new names we're hearing?
No, just the general people. I mean, we saw a poll recently putting Cuomo head-to-head with Mayor Adams.
Not exactly a progressive.
Not exactly progressive, but I mean, there's going to be challengers. It's going to be pretty open if anything happens.
Craig, Ben, thank you both very much for joining us.